Just 38 minutes after takeoff, an innocent suitcase carried a deadly secret. A Pan Am Boeing 747 suddenly vanished from radar. No distress call, no emergency signal. Only a thunderous explosion tore through the sky, raining wreckage down on the quiet town of Lockerbie. 270 lives, gone in an instant. Where they headed, and what was waiting for them on the other side? Early morning, December 21st, 1988. Europe, just days before Christmas, is engulfed in the biting chill of winter. Location, Frankfurt International Airport, West Germany. The atmosphere at Frankfurt International Airport is bustling, yet carries a hint of early morning weariness and heaviness. The mighty Boeing 747-121, named Clipper Made of the Seas, operated by Pan Am, is standing by. This is the first leg of the journey, connecting Frankfurt to London. Pan Am's experienced crew is gathered for final checks. They are among the last team members still working before the holiday break, with their final destination being New York JFK and Detroit, USA. Captain James Bruce McQuarrie, 55 years old American, one of Pan Am's veteran pilots, with over 11,000 flight hours. He is respected by colleagues for his professionalism and calm demeanor. First Officer Raymond Wagner, 52 years old American, a longtime Pan Am pilot whose role is to assist the captain and communicate with air traffic control. Flight Engineer Jerry Averitt, 46 years old American, responsible for monitoring and managing the complex technical systems of the jumbo jet. On board were 243 passengers, including 190 Americans and 43 Britons, along with travelers of various other nationalities. Among them were 35 excited students from Syracuse University, packing up memories after a semester abroad in Europe, eager to return home. Business people wrapping up last-minute work. Families and individuals carrying carefully wrapped Christmas gifts. All carried with them the joy and anticipation of the upcoming reunion. None of them knew that a tragic fate had already been sealed in Frankfurt by a seemingly harmless piece of luggage. Fatal oversight in Frankfurt. At this moment, a brown Samsonite suitcase carrying something deadly, plastic explosive Semtex and sophisticated timing device, had been transferred from a connecting flight. The suitcase had traveled from Malta to Frankfurt and was then loaded into the cargo hold of Pan Am Flight 103 without undergoing strict screening under the passenger bag match protocol. The aircraft completed its first leg safely, landing at Heathrow Airport in London, UK. There, a new crew boarded the plane, including Captain James McQuarrie. At 6:04 p.m. local time, Pan Am Flight 103 departed from Heathrow, beginning its transatlantic journey. On the ground, air traffic controllers at the Prestwick Area Control Center in Scotland monitored the glowing blips on their radar screens. At 7 o'clock and 50 seconds p.m., Captain McQuarrie radioed Prestwick. Clipper 103, level at 310. Indicating the aircraft had reached its cruising altitude of 31,000 feet, about 9,400 meters. It was a calm night flight, gliding smoothly through the night sky over Scotland near the small town of Lockerbie. 21 hours, 2 minutes local time. As Pan Am Flight 103 entered Scottish airspace, the deadly suitcase, containing Semtex and a timing device, completed its countdown. A loud, piercing explosion shattered the stillness of the night sky. The blast was later determined to have occurred in the forward cargo hold, directly beneath the second A in the word Pan Am painted on the fuselage. The force of the explosion tore open a hole roughly 20 inches wide, about 50 centimeters, causing immediate and extreme explosive decompression. In that terrifying instant, the freezing air of the stratosphere rushed in. The massive aircraft began to twist violently out of control. The nose, cockpit, and front fuselage were quickly destroyed and separated from the rest of the aircraft. The crew never had a chance to send out a distress signal. The disintegration of the Boeing 747 from 31,000 feet happened within mere seconds. At Prestwick, horrified air traffic controllers watched as the radar blip representing Pan AM-103 suddenly broke apart into multiple fragments, then vanished. Massive debris, including the aircraft's nose section and a wing carrying over 100 tons of jet fuel, plummeted toward the town of Lockerbie at incredible speed. The devastating impact created a massive crater on Sherwood Crescent, destroying 11 homes and claiming the lives of 11 innocent residents on the ground. In total, 270 lives were lost in just a matter of minutes. The crash site and the launch of the investigation. By the following morning, Lockerbie had become the center of global attention. Thousands of fragments were scattered across an area of over 2,000 square kilometers. An international investigation, the largest and most complex in aviation history, was launched. It was led by Scottish police, with full support from the FBI in the United States. Investigators faced a monumental task, collecting and meticulously cataloging over 4 million pieces of debris and attempting to reconstruct them. At the crash site, forensic experts carefully uncovered key evidence: a small fragment of an electronic circuit board, a charred piece of woven fabric from the suitcase, and most crucially, the shattered remains of a Toshiba radio cassette player, heavily deformed, with traces of Semtex explosive inside. They determined the device had been hidden inside a suitcase and triggered by a sophisticated electronic timer. After years of tracing these tiny clues, investigators tracked the timer back to a Swiss electronics company, which led directly to 2 Libyan intelligence operatives, Abdel Baset Ali al-Megrahi, believed to be the mastermind, Layman Khalifa Fahima. Finally, in 1991, both Libyans were formally charged, bringing Muammar Gaddafi's Libyan government into the global spotlight. The Lockerbie tragedy was not an aviation accident. It was a brutal act of terrorism, one that forever changed the landscape of global aviation security.